animation conversation here on Screen Blast. This is Cartoon Chat. I am Brian Swan, joined alongside
K9 Biscuit.
That's right.
You did like a long pause in that intro, so I was like, oh fuck, I hope he wasn't expecting me to say something. He didn't fucking cue me for anything.
I'm gonna be honest, this was like a rolling trash fire for a second. I was like, we had to deal with Mark lives near a church, so we had to deal with some bells. And I think I had to just lost my mind for a second trying to recall how I wanted to start the momentum of this episode. So apologies on the strange layout that was just handled.
Praise the 3 6s! Woo!
Praise the red ring, but
of death.
The red ring of death. But yeah, man, how's everything going for you? I know we talk more about that on Have a Cow on Cowcast, but how's everything going for you?
Terrible. Can we end the podcast now?
Yeah, we can actually, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Cartoon Time. How's everything going though, man?
Good. I don't know if we want to talk about it here, but been watching Tiny Toon Adventures. Looniversity finally came out.
Cool beans.
And it's it's pretty okay. Do you want it? It's not long, but
give me your impressions.
Should I wait to go into depth?
Tell me what you think about it, because you are someone that's much more into Looney Tunes and that sort of thing.
Yes, I'm a fan of the old Tiny Toons. Yeah.
So tell me what your impressions are. This was long in the tooth. I remember talking about this back in, had to be 2020 when this 2019 when this was announced.
Well, you know the Animaniacs reboot from Hulu?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is the same team as Animaniacs reboot.
That's right.
So I'm not sure if they have the original creators on staff for this one either. Because Animaniacs, the reboot didn't have the original creators on staff. But it was still pretty good.
Yeah, it was still, absolutely.
This one, this incarnation of Tiny Toons is very different. First of all, it's a full-out reboot. It's not a continuation at all. A lot of these characters are, meeting for the first time. There's dynamics have changed. And, the setting itself has changed, and the focus of it. Because Tiny Toon Adventures was kind of like Animaniacs, it was, a variety show, and it was kind of its own little reboot of Looney Tunes, where, these are younger Looney Tunes, and they're doing their own sort of Looney Tune gags, where some episodes you get some slice of life school life, where sometimes it's focused on the school, sometimes it's focused on the Tiny Toons just living in Acme Acres and they're doing their own Looney Tune stuff. This new show, it is completely focused on the school, even though because it was called the show was called Tiny Toons Looniversity. The setting of the school was called
Looniversity.
Yeah, sorry. The school was called Acme Looniversity in the original.
Gotcha.
But it was structured like a high school. In this show, Looniversity is actually structured like a university, like a college.
So it's technically supposed to be the same, but it's more of an actual college.
No, it's completely different. This is not a variety show anymore. This is a slice of life sort of school life cartoon.
Oh, so it's like Velma, everyone's favorite match.
No, not even nothing like that. Nowhere near like that. Fuck that. No.
If we're talking about slice of life,
you can. If you want to compare some fucking Mystery Incorporated, that's a slice of life school show, but it's not like that either. But cause it's still a comedy,
right?
Because it's still but it's more focused on the school and not really. You don't really get much of Acme Acres,
right?
And and the characters focus on the 5 main characters, which is Buster, Babs, Hampton, Plucky, and Sweetie Bird, I think.
Tweety?
No, Sweetie. That's the younger bird. That's the Tweety Bird.
I totally have no idea.
It's a good show.
I'm sure. If it's from the same team, I could imagine that it's pretty good. So.
But the weirdest thing is, Buster and Babs, right? They had a comedic in the original. They had a comedic relationship where they would be flirty, even though they have the same last names. They were every time they explain themselves, they'll be "I'm Buster Bunny and I'm Babs Bunny," and they would both say at the same time, "No relation."
No relation.
yeah. Which is funny because it makes sense because that sort of like Mickey, like you got Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, and like people point out with these like old timey couples, cartoon couples, anthropomorphic animals because they have the same last name because the last name is just literally the name of the animal.
Yeah.
They will point out like, is this incest because they have the same last name? I mean, like this is kind of like the old show had a kind of funny joke on its own. Where it's like, yeah, they fucking address that, but just by saying no relation. Every time they introduce themselves. I'm Buster Bunny, I'm Baz Bunny. And they both say at the same time, no relation. And like sometimes they like flirt with each other in certain cartoons and stuff. And it's like, it's just like funny flirty gags.
Right.
It's not really a if they want their relationship, it's just like it's just for gags.
Fair.
This new one, this is weird. Because...
Oh no.
They just made them twin brother and sister.
Oh.
That's... I'm not against it.
So does that...
But, like, it's weird because...
The context of the past? Is that why it's weird?
Huh?
Is it because of the context of the past?
Yeah, it's because, like, it's weird to, like, even to go back to the old show where, like, they're flirty and stuff.
Yeah.
But in this new show, because, like, they're flirty, they had some episodes where they're dating or something. And this new one is just like, oh, they're brother and sister. Like, if you're a fan of the original, you know the original very well, it's just weird.
100%.
It's a weird... It's like not like a serious couple, but like, say if like, there was a new show, a Mickey Mouse show, and Mickey and Minnie were brother and sister.
Yeah, that'd be very weird.
Yeah!
You have to, like, back up for a second. Like, that's very much like a Star Wars thing. Like, before it was figured, like, Luke and Leia were going to be brother and sister, Luke clearly was, like, interested in Leia, and then it was told later on, like, yeah, she's your sister, and it's like, oh, well, they totally kissed and all that, but okay.
There wasn't much chemistry except for, like, the one scene. A couple times? Like, well, besides the kissing
I don't know, but what you're telling me is that at certain times they had, like, some flirt energy.
It's not even energy, they just straight up have, like, flirting gags.
Okay.
Like, one of my favorite ones is, like, when, in the old show, Buster joins the football team, and, like, and it's like he's telling the audience it's great being captain of the football team. I get to date the head cheerleader, and the head cheerleader is Babs, and she's like, tell me my foot is pretty, and he just like, whoa, he just like melts like, oh.
That classic that's some classic setup and
there's a ton of funny gags like that, but like it's not a bad thing on a cartoon, but it's like it is weird. But, like, the thing also, the original Tiny Toons cartoon is funny. There's, like, a lot of gags that are just, like, laugh out loud funny. This new one, there's no gags that made me laugh out loud, but, like, I don't hate the show. It is charming.
Right.
Like, the characters, it's still loony. All the characters feel the same. I'm not sure it's the same voice actors. They all, like, if they're not, they all sound similar. I haven't looked much into it, but like, they sound similar. They act the same as the old original incarnation. It's just like, it does feel like a reboot, but it doesn't feel detached from the original that much. But at the same time, it's like, it's just a slice of life, like a college cartoon, but like with like very loony, cartoony characters. But they're fun to watch. So it's not a bad cartoon. It's just it's not as funny as the original.
It's not as
but
wacky,
like,
it sounds like either, but it's still good enough to be enjoyed.
Yeah. But also it doesn't feel like it's not like what I feel like for the new Clone High, where it's like it doesn't feel like it's lacking. This just feels like a different show entirely. And this is trying to be. This is very disconnected. This is trying to be a different show.
Trying to be its own thing.
Yeah, trying to be its own thing, but like I'm like it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, like Velma.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Well, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Velma's trying to be its own thing, but it fails.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. But this is well executed, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you think it caught me? No, you said Velma after I fucking already spoke.
I know, you said yes. Yeah, I could have said Velma is great. You would have said yeah, because you were already on a roll.
No, you know I was about to say yeah, right.
I know,
and then you slipped it in like,
they lined up.
I like, as soon as like, yeah, oh wait, Velma, yeah.
Well, Tiny Toon Looniversity sounds good. I will say, I haven't, in terms of watching animation, you know, the key thing I want to bring up here is we just got a couple trailers over the past few weeks of bigger things that are coming out at the end of the year. First thing is Chicken Run 2 finally actually has some teaser. You know, it's more of a trailer. We talked about this while we were just sort of reacting in person about it. It's a trailer. It tells you what's going on.
At this point, I don't want to even see I don't even want to see the trailer. I already seen enough.
But it's been 20 some years since the original Chicken Run. I think everyone at some point has probably seen it at some point. If you haven't, it's definitely worth checking out.
I've seen it at school a long time ago. Don't remember much from it, so I rewatched it like a couple months ago. I think it was earlier this year. And that is a great movie.
Yes.
And it's a bold allegory for the Holocaust.
Yes.
It's fucking bold.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it's very dark too.
Yeah, I think it does a pretty good job. I don't know.
I mean, because no other kids movie would try to.
Go that far. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's why. That's why
it's bold. Yeah.
I mean, there's probably better Holocaust movies, but I mean, for a kids movie, trying to go through that subject, it's pretty big.
That's fair. I think you know what they're doing. You know, having the old enemy back. If you haven't seen the trailer, I don't want to spoil it for you. So check it out. It's pretty good. It's good to see just the quality of Aardman. You know, we've seen. I think for most of us, we've seen almost everything that Aardman's done over the years, particularly Wallace and Gromit, super nostalgic.
Yes.
You know, and we all, I think both of us obviously had a real issue with Early Man, because I think we know the potential of Aardman, and they made a movie that just kind of not only. I mean, they were pushing themselves in the animation realm, but they also but it was a story that was very limiting, it seemed, and so it's
the trailers did not mention anything about fucking soccer.
No, and so with Early Man, I think that was a hiccup, and so with this,
there wasn't much plot there. Art movies aren't like they're not always very high stakes, but like they at least they're at least interesting. Early Man, I didn't hate it. It's just like it was one of the weaker of the Aardman movies. That's it.
Yeah, no. So yes, I mean I think then again their whole slate is fine to really good, like to some of the best
I like
stop motion in history.
Oh yeah, like underrated movie for me from Aardman is the Pirates Band of Misfits. It's like really.
Oh, that you're gonna say Flushed Away.
That's a good one too.
I love Flushed Away.
I love Flushed Away. I also like Pirates Band of Misfits is just a full out comedy, and that movie's so funny.
Yes, indeed. But yeah,
they also made the Chopsocky Chucks, which is a very, very like under the radar cartoon, but like it was so fucking kick ass.
When was that 2000s? How far back was that?
It was like before the 2010s era.
Okay.
It was Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I briefly recall that. But yeah, I think in terms of what Aardman can do here, like I love how good it looks. It's good to see a sequel. You know, am I worried about it? No, because I think they're going to do a pretty good job. And the only real controversy, by the way, of this whole thing is that the original voice actress for the main character was sort of just kind of pushed away through an email. You know, like it was just like, hey, you're too old for the role, so we're going to move off you. I think that's the only controversy. Everything else about the movie is sort of just going swimmingly. Everyone on the team, everything's good, it seems. So I'm looking forward to this at the end of the. Was it 2024?
Yeah. So wait, are you talking about one like the main rooster?
Not the rooster. Well, the rooster's also changed out. Yeah, rooster's changed out too.
Because he had to be.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm surprised you didn't bring it up because
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Mel Gibson's fucking canceled. He's a fucking terrible human being. But he was
he was canceled in the 2000s. Yes, I mean he's more welcomed now. But I think if you're gonna go on a tirade against the Holocaust, you can't do a sequel to Chicken Run. That's kind of like a little too on the nose.
But other than that, like, because did he go back on his shit, or I don't.
I mean, he's made projects before. Right? It's not like after. Like the big thing about Mel Gibson was just that traffic stop thing, and that was in the 2000s. Like that's 2 decades old now. That's almost as old as Chicken Run itself.
There's still people who don't really like him.
Oh yeah, no.
Like I don't really like the. I don't agree with the shit he says. So like. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying I agree with what he says. I'm just saying like there's a lot. It's like either you move on or you don't, and some people don't move on, and I understand that because sometimes it's like what you're saying is crazy that you don't deserve any of that respect anymore. But yeah, I just think overall, if you're going to say something about like I think he said something about the Holocaust or something like that, Judaism. If you're going to say something like that, you cannot do a sequel to Chicken Run because that was the main allegory for. That was the main allegory for the original. So it's just weird. It's just all weird. So again, the main actress and the main actor, voice actor and actress for the original, the rooster and the hen, both of them are recast. That was the only real controversy at the time. When it was announced, it's kind of sort of faded, and now it's just hype for the movie. So it's just cool to see more footage for that. The last thing I want to mention before we get any further into the actual topic is we finally have a trailer for Studio Ghibli's new movie from Hayao Miyazaki. He came out of retirement for a 7th or 8th or 20th time to make another film. I think it's The Boy and the Heron, and it looks really good. There are moments in this trailer that sort of just make reference to his past works, it seems.
Dude, they're gonna have
it's incredible improvement in how it looks technically, but you still have that very beautiful art direction that Ghibli is known for. And of course, this is just a much better direction than what we saw with that CG movie they made a few years ago. So it is great to see.
You mean Earwig the Witch?
We don't speak of that Jesus. So
because Miyazaki hated that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you disappointed me, son.
Exactly. So,
I hear he's a terrible father.
Oh yeah, no, is he a terrible dad? Yes. Does he make amazing work? Yes.
His kids make good work. Like, one of the kids made fucking Elden Ring, so.
Yeah. Oh shit, really?
Yeah, wow. It was made by Miyazaki.
Okay. I didn't know if that was actually his son or if that was just the name.
One of his sons.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, again, I'm not trying to excuse it, but his work is timeless.
I know.
It's some of the best animation ever in the history of the art form.
He still prefers the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
Like, in the future, we're gonna have a funeral for Miyazaki. Meanwhile, during the funeral, his skeleton is still going to be active in drawing frames.
There's still going to be kinetic energy where he's still
his
moving.
Flesh is going to be in the casket. His skeleton is still going to be drawing frames.
Absolutely. No, his spirit will be very much like
both. He has a fucking. It's a staff. Right. No, they take shifts.
That's it. Man, I just think again, this comes out in December. We have the end of the year was looking kind of mid. You had Trolls 3. You had Disney's Wish, which was one thing where it's all right, that looks interesting, but I'm not excited about it. This comes out in December. I think this will be not a sleeper hit because I think it's people now know the America knows about Studio Ghibli.
Yes.
And I think that when this reaches theaters, this will have a big splash, and it might take away from the box office success.
Is it coming out during Wish's thing?
Well, Wish comes out, I believe, in November, end of November, I believe.
Because Disney princess shit is
it's usually great, but what happened with last year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is Puss in Boots just stole the show from I think what was it? Was it Encanto last year? Or was that 2 years ago?
Encanto was not last year.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Puss in Boots was 2022.
That's what I'm saying. Last year.
Last
December. Last December was Puss in Boots, and then before that, was that Encanto?
No, it's not. Encanto was earlier than that. It was a year prior.
Okay. What came out? Something came out around the time of.
You're probably gonna look it up and edit it real quick.
All right. One sec. I feel like Encanto was the end of this year, wasn't it?
No, it's not. It was
2021. That's
yeah.
right. Jesus.
I remember I was like bopping to its music earlier that year.
Because the thing about Encanto was like it was, again, that was another end of the year hit that just rolled through and was like this pop culture craze.
Oh yeah.
All the way through early summer of the next.
It became a bigger hit during streaming because that was because that was still the pandemic, and the pandemic was still very much in session. I remember around the time it got very famous. But like, because last year, the end of last year, the pandemic was, they were just saying fucking ignore it because they had to get businesses running again.
Yeah. So the Disney movie that came out at the end of last year was Strange World.
Yep, there we go.
And that already wasn't, and people were already disinterested in that. And
I was disinterested, and I'm a cartoon Disney fan.
And then Puss in Boots came along, and it just slaughtered it, essentially. It was like, alright, it just kept going. Like, it came out in December, I believe, and it just kept going.
So that's not really a big comparison. It depends how, like...
I think it's a similar comparison, because, again, it's Disney. Disney's only threat was DreamWorks, which would have came out a week
I know, but Strange World is not really marketed towards the same, like, type of demographic as Disney Princesses and Encanto. This is, like women, like, just like Little Mermaid, women and, like, little girls gonna be all over this movie, on top of animation fans. Like,
yes.
This is still, like, even if Ghibli gets, like, a high turn from whatever movie they're releasing, they're still gonna, Disney, fucking Wish is still gonna get their share. They're still gonna make their money and get their share.
I agree.
I don't think it's gonna take away.
I agree. I just think that, like, it's going to have its run. I just think that Ghibli will shorten its run. I mean, like, they can run side by side from each other. I think the bigger issue is Trolls is obviously, not only is it already a disinteresting product. Oh, you know what else there is? There's that Migration movie. That forgettable garbage.
It's going to take all of it.
That's...
Fuck out. So like every movie, even Studio Ghibli better postpone that release for fucking ducks. Illuminations ducks.
We were already talking about the fact that this looks like it's going to be a bomb. With this coming out this is coming out after the Ghibli movie. So there's no way this gets any momentum. It already has the...
I don't think it's going to be a bomb if they, like, place it in the correct slot. It is if they don't place it in the correct slot.
I just think they should put this in January.
Yeah.
I don't because there's no way I think that this has any space to succeed. It's also weird that you're gonna have a DreamWorks movie and an Illumination movie a month away from each other when they're both owned by Universal. Very weird.
I don't know what they're trying to.
Because Trolls is already being sacrificed to Wish. Wish is gonna kill that thing.
I know. I don't like both of these movies. Like are big brand in their own way. Like Trolls 3. Trolls is a big brand for DreamWorks. And it should be a big brand for Universal.
We'll see. We'll see.
And so I assume they're trying to get that movie to succeed. Meanwhile, fucking Illumination's Ducks is an Illumination movie, and Illumination is whoever is on the marketing team in Illumination. They're very smart, and they get everything. And they make sure to get everything in your face. So made
by the creators of the Mario movie.
Yeah, from the creators of Mario.
Yeah,
made it, not the Mario. This is what they're gonna tell kids because it doesn't say because there is no subtitle on the Super Mario Brothers that say the movie. Yeah. So it's like from the creators of Mario.
That's a good point.
They made Mario.
It's just the Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, again, I just think that for Universal, this was the worst possible setup. I already didn't like. It's so weird because, again, they were on a high with, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but with Bad Guys and then Puss in Boots, it was like, wow, 2022 for DreamWorks. I think everyone in the animation fan base was like, wow, DreamWorks is back. We like what they're doing. This animation looks great. They released Ruby Gilman at the worst possible time in the middle of the summer. And it just bombs. It fucking bombs. It's terrible. And I still need to watch that, but I have no interest in watching it. And then you have Trolls.
It's not in theaters anymore, so I don't know.
I'm not saying in theaters, but I'm saying, I have no interest, even, now that it's available wherever it is. And, then you have, like I said, Trolls 3, and it's it's just a weird opposite. You know what I mean? we were so interested in 22 about what DreamWorks was doing. 23 looks really disinteresting. And now 24, obviously, I'm just waiting for Kung Fu Panda 4.
I was interested in seeing Ruby Gillman in theaters, but they were trying to, like, bury that shit.
Yeah.
They were not giving it any showtimes.
You can't put Ruby Gillman after a couple weeks after Spider-Verse and a week after Elemental. I think it was
you could put Ruby Gillman in fucking June and period.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That was a weird... Yeah. And so, all we're saying is, end of the day...
Because there was a lot of movies for families in June period.
Yeah.
It just wasn't gonna work. That made no sense.
And then just overall, the big family movie that people kept going to see was also, like, Little Mermaid was getting all that. You know, you want female sea creature? Sorry, that's taken. I know they were doing they were trying to do a Disney rivalry thing with this because they had the mermaid in their movie too, but it just, I wish it worked. It didn't, but what are you gonna do?
This is on them because they didn't want to.
They didn't market it, and it had a small budget. That's what stinks too. This had like a budget under $50 million, and you could see it obviously, but it had a budget under $50 million. I wish that it actually made a profit.
The art style looks creative. It seems like same thing with Captain Underpants. Like the art style for Captain Underpants is very creative.
Yeah.
But like even though it had better time slots, the advertisement wasn't like fully full force, as much as for the fucking Boss Baby, which came out the same year.
Yeah.
Boss Baby, you can't.
That was
blink.
everywhere.
You can't blink. They put posters on the back of your eyelids if they caught you.
The Academy Award nominated Boss Baby.
Yeah, Captain Underpants are advertised like Captain Underpants in theaters. What? No, it's.
Yeah.
I forgot what I said.
Yeah, but yeah, Studio Ghibli, very curious. I do think that, again, anime hasn't been any higher than it is right now in terms of the cultural resonance it has in America, globally. Studio Ghibli is one of the infighting ways that has brought people into anime in general. Spirited Away is one of those movies that was massive in attracting people. And so, in their lineup of films, whether it is Nausicaa, whether it is Mononoke, whether it is Castle in the Sky, whether it is Howl's Moving Castle, Ponyo was big, whether it's, The Wind Rises, the list goes on and on. Like, people are going to see this movie, I think. And there is a chance, like you said, I think that Wish will make its money. It will. I'm not saying it's going to be a bomb, but I'm saying that Ghibli is big enough and anime is obviously massive enough that it will be, I think, the ripple effect that Puss in Boots was last year.
I hope Disney finds a more unique art style in Wish. Because Wish is more like the executives like, hey, no, the animators are like talking to executives, hey, like that Spider-Verse movie's doing well. Can we make a movie like that? And the executive's like, you can add lines.
Yeah, you can.
That's it.
You can have an outline.
Yeah, you can have lines.
Yeah.
You can add lines.
It's like they dip. That's what I was gonna say. They look like they dipped their toe in the water, but they didn't want to commit fully.
But they can do more, but they don't fucking want to.
Yeah.
The movie looks fine though.
Yeah. By the way, this. All right. Quick tangent. Small tangent.
This is all about tangents. We've been going on tangents.
The Princess and the Frog sequel was announced.
I thought that was going to be a Disney Plus
But it's coming to Disney Plus.
Wasn't that announced as a show? It was
is it...
It was called Tiana.
Yeah. Why is it not a movie?
Wait, so it's a movie?
No, I think it's... I swear
Wait, what'd you say? Because you said the Disney, the sequel has been announced. I'm like, yeah. Why? I thought it was announced as a show. And you just asked me, why is it not a movie? And you just confused me, like, what?
1 sec, my apologies. I'm getting this wrong here. Because I saw that, I'm like, why is it that we've gotten Frozen and we've gotten all of these things? Yeah, TV series. My apologies. I just, I don't know. This is the thing. It's like we're gonna have live action remake after live action remake of old animated movies and even new animated movies like Moana, but like these sequels, it's like you get Zootopia, sure, as a sequel. You get Inside Out, you get Toy Story 5. You're getting a couple things with sequels, fine. They're getting theatrical release. Princess and the Frog, people love it. People find it nostalgic. They're not gonna even try. They're not even gonna say, all right, let's just do it.
I think as a Disney Plus show that works out great. Especially it's actually something an episodic series that's different that people can look forward to on Disney Plus, because Star Wars and Marvel,
they're not doing it.
They're not doing it because they do it so fucking much. It should be like, at this point, one Star Wars show a year, one Marvel show a year.
Well, that's what should
make it feel like an event again.
Well, yeah, it can't. I mean, I would say two. One in the beginning, one in the end.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it should be, because remember 2022 where it was like one after the other after the other after the other. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing, dude?
Or like now.
I mean, now it's kind of. Is it still that bad?
Well, it's like right after Marvel's done Star Wars, right after Star Wars done Marvel.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's
like it doesn't feel like it. That's why I'm not inclined to. Well, I'm all caught up with Marvel, but I'm not inclined to watch all the Star Wars stuff because I feel so behind, because it keeps stacking. It doesn't feel like an event anymore. I remember when Mandalorian first happened, It was like a fucking Star Wars show.
Yeah, big deal.
Like that, big deal. We ain't getting that out often. And then another Star Wars show. Okay. Oh, another one. The
other thing was they weren't good. They were writing issues. Clearly, it was like being rushed. CGI was bad.
It was getting it was getting inconsistent to the point where I wasn't too keen on starting Andor, because
sadly enough, Andor is probably the best thing to come out of that.
Yeah, because Andor came out after Obi-Wan.
Andor came out after Obi-Wan, which is why.
Yeah, because I came from Obi-Wan. Yeah. And I was like, oh, fucking. And then Andor was announced maybe. I don't know about the time. But even everyone still says it's good, but I just don't feel like starting it. It's and it's 8 hours.
Yeah,
it's an 8-hour movie.
I promise you, I know that.
I've been hearing across the board that that's amazing.
Yeah, the thing about it is it's just hard. It's hard to recommend, also because the rest of the Star Wars universe is being written so poorly that it's like, all right, well, this is a gem. It's literally everything else is collapsing around you, but this one pedestal is still standing. It's like, all right, that's good that the one pedestal's standing, but everything else is fucking falling apart.
We're just going on tangents, but
this is gonna be a separate thing.
Is Asuka good so far?
It's showing its flaws. I know some people still think it's great. I haven't seen the latest episode.
I haven't started Andor already. I'm behind on Mandalorian, and I haven't now that I hear this is extremely connected to Rebels, the CG show, and I was never interested in cartoon Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's I'm even less interested in watching it now.
The one thing people are saying that watched Rebels, I was not someone that watched Rebels a lot. This is when I was in high school. Also, I just didn't like the art direction. I was like, why is it's looking very Fisher-Price. At least with Clone Wars, there was this sort of serious tone. It looked like it was doing something with CG where they were trying to make it look more grounded and look more like it was more for mature audiences. Rebels... Yeah. The problem with Rebels is it was bright and colorful. I understand that it wasn't, but it's man, this thing looks like it's for I don't mind Saturday morning cartoons, but it looked like it was for a 7-year-old, and I never sort of shook that. So I've watched clips of interesting moments, but I've never really committed fully, and so yeah, same here.
I never had a problem with the cartoons. I never really watched them. It's just I when it comes to a live action property, and you have an animated version of it, it's it depends on my mood if I feel like watching it, but I prefer when it's its original state better if it is better in that way, because I like to appreciate live sets and stuff.
Yeah.
I like to appreciate practical effects and all that stuff, and the acting. It feels more bigger scope when it's live action compared to when it's animated.
Absolutely.
So it's I just never cared to ever start watching any of these CG Star Wars shows.
Yeah, I think we should, since we're just bringing it up. What do you think of the Scott Pilgrim trailer?
It looks fantastic. As someone who
I know, that's something I really wanted to still just say, because
what's the release date for that again?
I think it's the end of the year, right? It's coming out.
Damn, not soon enough.
It's not close. This is. I think what everyone's wanted.
I'm not being behind on this. I'll stop watching everything else I'm on if this comes on.
Yeah.
Because I love movie. It's a fucking gem. I wish I got into it before it came out on DVD. I think I watched it like I watched it like a year late on DVD, and that movie was fucking gold. Well, maybe in like a fucking theater will have it, like on another anniversary will be back in theaters. Like again, that's one of those movies like I wish I can fucking give myself amnesia and just watch it again.
That
and like
yeah.
there was another it's like I don't really need a sequel. It's not really a story that's like that runs on the sequel, but like I need another movie that's edited the way that movie was, and we gotten close. But we still don't get another
I was
movie.
gonna say Speed Racer. I think again those two in terms of the way that they're edited. I love like Speed Racer is like some people didn't like it at the time, but I grew up with it. I think it came out in 2008 or 9. It's one of my favorite movies of all time just because of the editing and how beautiful it is and how bright and colorful it is when they actually like just the fucking everything about it.
I say the closest thing is Spider-Verse.
Probably, but I'm saying like in terms of like the live action,
but it's animated.
Yeah,
that's the thing. There's like even then it's like I haven't fully watched Speed Racer yet. I think I've only tried watching it. I think I only tried watching it once, and that was like a bootleg DVD my dad brought home, and I was a kid, and I didn't really appreciate actually good writing, so it was like, it's not a cartoon.
It's not even like it's amazing writing, but it's a fun.
I mean, I'll try watching it again.
I would say don't even watch Fast and Furious ever again. Like watch this. It's just a.
I'm sorry, you said watch Fast and Furious again.
Yeah, but you know, this is I think this, you know, funny enough, I was thinking about doing sort of a general once a month idea where we cover topics like this in a smaller subsection pod like this. So this is the first version of Toon Talk.
No, idea canceled.
Yeah, it's canceled.
I decline.
All right, well, this will never reach you. You guys will never see this. And you've never ever heard of this.
I get to pull up my. Well, if it isn't being uploaded.